Hi, for the last video in this intro series, we're going to build this brass axle mount. And here is the drawing for it. We're going to go about this two ways, and I don't know which is the fastest way, but I think both ways will be pretty interesting, and you'll learn some new stuff. So let's get going. So the first way I'm going to do it is I'm going to build just a big rectangle here, and I'm going to center that or not going to center the rectangle. I'm going to put my origin right here at this bottom left-hand corner. I'm going to make that rectangle, and we know that the bottom dimension is 80, but what is this top dimension? Well, the top dimension is 35, and then we have this radius cut here of 12.5. So that's the radius there, and that's also the radius here, for example. So 35 plus 12.5 is 37.5. So we're going to make our first rectangle 80 by 37.5. And then I'm going to come in here and make another rectangle, okay, probably based off of this top corner here. Yep. And then what is this dimension? Well, we know that this is 80 minus one radius and another radius. So the diameter of this is going to be 25. So this dimension up here is going to be 80 minus 25. And this dimension here, or rather this dimension here is going to be, let's see here, I don't know if you can see, I've kind of obscured it, but this radius is 10. So that means down to here is 10, and then a little bit further is 5. So this height here will be 15. So that's what we're going to do on the first solution. Okay, and the second solution, we're going to just use line and then arc, line, arc, line, and we're just going to draw this starting in the bottom left-hand corner, and we'll just work our way around just using lines and arcs. And we'll see how that goes. I forgot to mention, what are we going to do when we draw our two rectangles? Once we get that done, we'll extrude this rectangular part, and then what we'll do is we'll come in here and we'll fillet. We'll just cut these edges off with the fillet tool. So one sketch, a couple of rectangles, extrude that, fillet that, and then we can come in here and add this hole there. And then the second process, we're just going to start here in the corner and just work our way around and just build as we go. Let's see which one you like better. Let's see which one's faster. So let's jump into Onshape and get going. Before I do that, I'm going to make sure that we're in the right units. This is millimeters, grams, and seconds. The material is brass, and the density of this brass happens to be 8490. I'm using this off of Onshape's material library, and if we build this correctly and we extrude it out 15 like we're supposed to, then the mass should be 235 grams. This is a level 3 part, and I am going to move this. If you don't have this in front of you, my students should have this in front of them, but if you don't, you could take a screenshot of it, and I'm going to do that now. I'm going to move that over to my second monitor so I can watch that while I am modeling here in Onshape. Okay, so I've made a new part studio, and for sure we're going to be on the front plane here. So click on the front plane, Shift S to create a sketch, N to get normal, P to hide the plane. I am going to go ahead and move over out of dark mode so that it looks more like what you have. Okay, I'm going to get the G tool. G stands for corner rectangle. So G, I'm going to choose this point here, drag up here. I know this bottom we said was 80. And if you're not very good at math, you can have Onshape do the math for you. So 35 plus 12.5 gives us 47.5. Okay, actually, I think I might have said 37.5 when I did the description earlier, but of course it's 47.5. So that's our first rectangle done. I'm going to press G again to get into that rectangle tool. Boom, like so. I'm going to press D for dimension tool, like this guy. This down here is 10 plus 5, I can do that in my head, that's 15. And this guy here is the diameter of our little raised boss, and that is 25, 12 and a half and 12 and a half. Okay, so we're done with that. I'm going to extrude this. So I press the OK. Shift, I highlighted this little L piece here. Shift E to extrude, tab, tab, tab. It is 15, tab, 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 and we want it to be symmetric. Okay, if you've watched other videos before, my other videos, you can see that I am symmetric to that plane. I want to be where it's half in and half off, and the reason for that is we have centerline symmetry down that axis, so that's what I want there. Okay, boom, done. Really nice. This fillet can be you can just click on it, click on the icon, or Shift F. Shift F. I'm going to click on this edge here, and that's way too much. The radius here should just be 10. Okay, and if I do Shift Enter, it will enter that fillet and then open that command again. Onshape's pretty clever about that. So here I can fillet this corner and fillet this corner, but you can see it's not fully filleted because 10 doesn't quite get us all the way. If you remember, that radius is 12 and a half, so there that is. Okay, perhaps I don't want to do that. Okay, maybe I don't want to do the two edges, and maybe I want to do the full round fillet. So here, it doesn't matter what the size is, full round fillet. It's asked me for my first side face, so I'm going to choose this one. It's then asked me for my, oops, sorry. Somehow it jumped up there. It's asked me for my first side face, so I'm going to click on that one. There we go. Then it jumps down to the second side face, and then finally it asks me for the face to round, and there it is. Boom, just like that. So either the edge fillet or the full round, either way, gets you the same result. Okay. Now I need to add the hole here, the circle, and I could create a sketch, so that's Shift S to create a sketch, N to get normal to, C to make a circle, and if I move my mouse, it's going to be right there in that center where it is coincident with that outside edge there, like so. Drag my circle, and I see it's a 10. Okay, Shift E to extrude that, but of course we want to remove it, and we want to remove through all. Done. Okay. So that is definitely one way to make the hole, but I had to create a sketch and I had to extrude. So let me show you a cute little trick. I'm going to take the rollback bar, bring it up so that we are not engaging that sketch, second sketch and second extrude. This time I'm going to use the hole command. Okay. So I click on this. This is a simple hole, and the diameter of this is just 10. We're in inches. Let's change over to millimeters. So 10 millimeters. Let's make sure I do make sure it's in there. That's good. And then it's looking for a place to connect the hole. I don't have any place that I can actually click on to put that hole, but I can click here, the mate connector, and what the heck is going on here? Why isn't that working? Termination is through all. What's going on here? I just kind of did this on the fly. Let's see why this is not. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so for whatever reason, it was kind of finicky. Okay, there we go. So I click mate selector. Well, come on, finickiness. You're killing me here. All right, what's going on? Is it my computer? There it is. Okay, there it is. So I want this edge to wake up, and then I want it to be placed in that centerpiece right there. Boom. Come on. There it is. Whoa. I think my computer is just lagging. So apologize for that. So there is a 10 millimeter hole. Look how fast that was. Wasn't that quick? Just kidding. All right. So now I click okie dokie, and now I have my hole just where I want it. Let's take the part. I'm going to right click, go to assign material. I want to choose my custom material library. And if you don't know how to do that, there's a card up here that shows you how that happens. And I want brass, and the density is 8490. I believe that's what we had. Yes, 8490. So we click OK, and then we choose, because the part's already selected, we choose the display mass property, 235 grams, and that's exactly what we get on the 2D drawing, so we know we did this correctly. All right, so there are a couple of ways to do that. Let's see here if we can remind ourselves by simply taking the rollback bar. We drew a little sketch. We extruded just that L part. I applied a fillet. I applied another fillet, and then I applied a hole. Okay, that's one way to do it. I doubt anybody's going to use that whole command after watching how slow it was whenever I did it. Okay, so that is definitely one way to do it. Another way to do it, like I said, is to just use the line, angle, line, or line, arc, line command. So I'm making a new part studio. Yeah, I think my computer's just lagging here. Sorry about that. I'm going to click on the front face, Shift S to make the sketch, N to get normal to, P to hide the plane. I'm going to choose a line tool here. I'm going to start in this corner. I'm going to go up 35. So I'm just going to draw a line, type 35, and I'm still in the line command. Now I want this to be a curve piece here. So I'm going to, it's a line here. If I come back and just hover over that, it now becomes a curve, and I can make that curve be like so. The radius, if you recall, is 12.5. So I'm just going to type 12.5, boom. I'm going to come down some unknown distance. I'm going to come out to here. Again, I'm drawing lines. I come back, touch, and I come out. Now I'll make my arc. That arc is 10. I'm going to come down to this. I'm going to make sure I'm horizontal to the origin, and that distance is 5. And then I'm going to come all the way back to here, and I'm going to force that to be 80. Boom, like so. Okay. What are we missing here? Why is it still blue? Let's see here. Well, let's do a little drag test. So I'm going to press escape to get out of the line. I'm going to take this corner and drag. Oh, and there it is right there. We want this curve here to be tangent. We want this curve to be tangent with that 5, that 5 vertical line. So for this, we can click on the tangent button, or simply press T for tangent. Click on that that rounded fillet there. Click on the line, and now it's tangent, and now it's fully constrained. Whew, losing my nouns today. Okay, I'm going to press C for circle, because this way I can just draw the 10 through hole right there. And now I could just extrude this whole thing. Shift E to get extrude, tab, tab, tab. This is 15, tab, tab, tab to be symmetric, and we are done. So this one's a little bit faster, right? Because we had one sketch and one extrude. So probably this is the fastest way to do it. Let's just make sure we did it right. Right click on the part, assign material, choose PCR custom material, and then scroll down to brass. And it should be 235, and it is 235. So there we go. We got it. We got that model all set. I guess the last thing to do would be to change the appearance, and we know that the appearance is RGB code is 181, and then tab over and 166, and then tab over and 66. And you can see that in the title bar and the title block of the 2D drawing in the bottom right-hand corner. All right, so sorry that my computer was laggy. Sorry that whole command, it's usually super fast, really, really efficient. And it's just another tool to use. I promise if you use it, it's smoother than mine. I think my old machine is just a little bit laggy here tonight. All right, thank you all for watching. Have a good one.